Now, this is not something against Barack Obama. This is, let me enter this into evidence of our media being complicit, lazy, or negligent. I mean, this is unbelievable that you don't know this. Barack Obama's grandfather in Kenya, we got this tip from somebody, and they said, I've been trying to verify this, and I can't get it verified. I can't get it denied. Well, let's do that now. President-elect Barack Obama's grandfather endured horrific torture by the British during the Kenyan uprising against colonial rule more than 50 years ago. Colonialism. White colonialism. Great Britain. The violent strand of Obama's complicated family history has left some in Britain wondering how it might affect relations between America and, traditionally, one of its closest allies.
I think they might know now.
I think so, too. Hussein Obama, whom the future president never met, spent 2 years in a high-security prison in Kenya while the British tried to get him to spill what he knew about the insurgency. This is according to Barack Obama's step-grandmother and his grandfather's third wife. He said that the British would sometimes squeeze his testicles with parallel metallic rods. They also pierced his nails and buttocks with sharp pins. His hands and his legs were tied together with his head facing down. Obama's grandfather became involved in the Kenyan uprising while he worked as a cook for the military, the British Army officer after World War II. He was arrested in 1949. His job as a cook to the British Army officer made him a useful informer for the rebellion. The African warders were instructed by the white soldiers to whip his grandfather every morning and evening until he confessed. The woman who now Obama refers to as Granny Sarah, 87, said, the torture left Obama's grandfather permanently scarred. This is the time when we realized the British were actually not friends, but instead our enemies, said Barack Obama's grandmother. Now, don't you think maybe that's kind of an important conversation to have? When people are wondering why we sent the bust of Churchill, why, for the first time, the prime minister didn't get a photo opportunity with the president of the United States, why all of this is happening. Let me ask you this. Is it unreasonable to ask the question, a man's grandfather who thought the white man was oppressive and there should be a revolution, went undercover inside the British camp to provide information? How does that help affect the psyche of a grandson? What kind of person does that create? Should that person be asked rigorously before they're president and meet with the prime minister? How has this affected you? How do you feel about the British now? It explains damn near everything. And no one's asked this question. And I can guarantee you, I will be called a racist and everything else for even asking this question. This has nothing to do with race. Let me put it this way. If the Russians had tortured my grandfather in the 1940s when we were allies during the war, and done to my grandfather what had been done to Barack Obama's grandfather, and I became president of the United States, and I'm being told that, oh, no, okay, sure, they were good, they were allies then, and they're allies now. And I realize that the truth has never been told. You think I could sit down with the Russians and negotiate as an ally as a friend, as someone who sees them in the same light, there's no way I could do it. There's no way I could. Could you, Brad Thor?
There's absolutely no way I could do it. But I bet Gordon Brown hates Great Britain as much as I believe Obama hates America as found it. I can't believe that the two of them didn't have some
But Brad, say what you
ground.
Say what you really say what you really think.
You know what? I bet Gordon Brown could sit with Obama and say, I hate Britain as much as you do. I really believe that.
Why do you think Gordon Brown hates Great Britain? Where does that come from?
Well, I think that, what?
Does he believe it's imperial and all that kind of stuff, too? Is it that?
I believe in the utter nihilism of progressives, of the left. And I also think that Obama never liked Gordon Brown because Gordon Brown wanted a global New Deal, and he was beating Obama to the punch. He was taking Obama's shtick and blowing it up internationally. I've always believed that that Gordon Brown was getting way far out in front of Obama, and Obama didn't like that. That's why he got the DVDs that didn't work on his video player back.
It explains
the ultimate up yours.
Again, this is nothing to do with Barack Obama. Again, let me take the side of Barack Obama and his feelings. If this had happened to my grandfather, I would feel exactly the same way, and I'd feel those sons of bitches got away with it. They have been duping us. They have been on the exact opposite side the whole time, and it has all been whitewashed. I would be pissed. I would have rage in me. Now, if I had all that rage in me, and then I went out to college and I sought out the revolutionaries, I sought out the anti-colonialists. Do you have it?
Yeah, here's the list.
I chose my friends carefully. The more politically active black students, the foreign students, the Chicanos, the Marxist professors and structural feminists and punk rock performance poets. We smoked cigarettes and wore leather jackets. At night in the dorms, we discussed neocolonialism, Frantz Fanon, Eurocentrism, and patriarchy.
Stop. You see? It's all there. It's all there. Now, it doesn't mean that the guy couldn't negotiate and couldn't be the president of the United States. But it does mean questions need to be asked. How do you feel today? How do you feel? Tell me about that. Tell me how you deal with that in your life and then sitting next to the prime minister. How do you feel about what happened in 1949 to your grandfather? And the quote, I'm quoting your grandmother, the white soldiers that whipped your grandfather or had him whipped. How do you feel about your grandfather trying to overturn what he felt was an oppressive system, only to be oppressed more by the people who are our traditional biggest ally? Can you move past that? This is beyond negligence. This is criminal negligence on behalf of the press. Criminal negligence. We weren't given all of the details. That doesn't mean he's disqualified. That means we need to know. If you were somebody's running for the CEO of some company, and your traditional ally, you're the company that you align yourself with and you work together with all the time, if it was found out that that company had taken and screwed your family to the wall, and then you started queering deals with people, don't you think maybe that should have been disclosed? Again, he disclosed it. No one cared to pick that up.